Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. I may look like I am in my shed, but I'm actually on a transfer coach between some airport in Turkey somewhere to some other place in Turkey. My wife booked it, so I have no idea where I'm going. Yeah, I do. A place called Seedy Side or something.
You go to some seedy places?
Seedy place in Turkey. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. So that's where I am. So hopefully this is all going to go good tonight. So
hope so.
A couple of wee different things tonight, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We're relying on you to share this show as much as possible tonight because we are not here to just remind you.
No.
Well, we are.
We are. Right. I am.
We are.
I'll forget.
No, we both are. Yeah. And then because we've pre-recorded this one, I know you love sending all the comments in. We still want you to send your comments in because they will be on the Facebook thing, but we won't be bringing them up on the screen tonight. Davey won't be bringing them up as normal because we're not live. So I got caught out with that last Sunday night. Did you see the amount of comments that came in last? And I'm not used to doing it. And then there was 1100s come in. So
I actually contacted a few Gaelic societies last week to say, come and leave some comments for Peter.
Yeah, in Gaelic.
In Gaelic.
Yeah, that was. But fortunately, Rory helped me out with all the Gaelic stuff, so that was good. So that was good.
So yes,
but anyway, we've a wonderful show. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. It's pouring with rain here in Shetland tonight as we record this. And I just looked at the long-term forecast for Turkey, and it's going to be pouring with rain when I get there for the first 2 days as well.
It's warm rain, though.
Warm rain. So the kids are quite excited about swimming in a swimming pool in the rain. That's appealing to them. As opposed to Shetland swimming in the sea and possibly getting overtaken by a polar bear. So it's quite a bit different.
The one thing is we want to say that tonight, it is Wednesday night tonight, and what a fantastic game of football for Scotland yesterday, wasn't it?
Yee. I didn't see it myself, but I couldn't believe it when I saw the scores this morning. I was like, "Oh wow, this is pretty good."
Yeah,
And
fantastic.
somebody we know had a ticket for both games, but had to come back to their work, and they thought it wouldn't matter that much because they were playing Spain, and they wouldn't win that anyway, and they've gone and missed like the biggest game in decades.
Yeah. We might actually qualify for this one, but yes, we digress.
Anyway, tell us how's Amy doing? Because last Sunday night I done myself because Amy wasn't feeling very well. So
yeah, I think Amy had a little bit of tummy bug. Projectile vomiting was always good fun. Yeah.
No, there's nothing like it.
Yeah. But see, Livy, she's been fine. She's been fine since Monday.
Just give it. It's just your turn to get it now. That's it. That's what
I've got it now. Yes, I'm a bit kind of queasy. Eating digestives because did you know why digestives were invented?
No.
They're for helping digestion. Hence the name digestive.
I suppose.
There you go. That's one for the pub quiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an absolutely wonderful guest for you tonight. Even when I'm in Turkey, we've got a great guest for you. Tell them who we've got tonight coming on later on.
Tonight we have the frontman of one of the most well-known bands on the scene at the moment.
Yeah,
that's Paul McKenna.
Yeah,
not the hypnotist. Different person, different group. Singer-songwriter Paul McKenna.
Yeah, we've got the far more talented one on.
Yeah, he just goes sleep. And the show's over. That's great. Do we have him? But firstly, you may remember that we had the boys from Skerryvore on in the past with Martin Gillespie, and they were in Perth on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
I found not that I drink at all, but I found my wife did buy a bottle of whiskey that Martin recommended when he made a
cocktail.
Remember, he made a Tartan Tunes cocktail for us, and it was a kind of orangey thing, but it had a certain kind of whiskey in it. I can't remember what the whiskey was, but I found it the other day, and it was matured in rum barrels or something like that. Or something.
It's probably half finished as well.
Yeah, Karen's probably got through it. That old excuse of
so yeah,
I've got a cold.
As part of their gig, they get a local pipe band to join them on stage, and as they're in Perth, they had Strathallan School pipe band playing with them, which is handy because that's where I work. And today we have a video that's been posted, and it is of them playing with Skerryvore. It was filmed by Kyle Howie, who's also a previous guest, and edited in-house by Dominic Glasgow, the media manager. So hold on to your hats, and here we go.
Brilliant. Very cool. Very cool.
Rocking.
I would clap, but I'd drop the dog. So,
Win-win.
don't want to do that in a podcast. Somebody would complain. And I thought it's a very clever, it's a really clever plan that as well, to have a whole youth pipe band on because they all bring their pals and their family and everybody buys tickets. It's quite clever.
Exactly.
You have to pay for that cocktail somehow.
Introduce our guest tonight, Peter.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Davey said, one of the foremost singers in the scene just now, one of the most popular bands all the way. He's in Glasgow tonight, and we're going to chat to him and find out about everything else that we don't know about him. Let's welcome Mr. Paul McKenna. Hello, Paul.
Hello, how you doing?
We're good. How are you?
Good.
I'm good, I'm very good.
Great.
Glad to hear it.
I'm going to stop this glare on my glasses, but I don't think I'm going to be able to
That's all right.
do it somehow.
Don't worry about it.
Some folk have bother with a glare at the top of their head, so I wouldn't worry about the
That's coming soon, don't worry about that. It's coming for me.
glasses.
That's what that's on.
So hopefully you're keeping well. Are you getting some gigs coming on and things again?
I keep well. I have a few things happening this year. We were busy at the start of the year, and now it's been pretty quiet. So not too much happening in the summer, unfortunately.
Right.
Well, hopefully we can maybe pick up a few other things here and there. But aye, so it's looking okay.
Good.
So, Paul, tell us, how did you get kind of started with music in general?
I always played music. I learned piano and stuff when I was young, and I taught guitar through the school. And my dad played guitar and things like that. So I was always into music. And then I come from an Irish background, so there was always a lot of that, a lot of singing, a lot of songs. No musicians in the immediate family anyway, but lots of singers.
Right.
And things, and we always spent time over there when I was young. So was introduced to sessions and things over there. So I was always interested in that type of music, and I just get more and more involved. So I probably got into folk music in general through Irish music. So that was kind of my intro to it.
Were you brought up in Glasgow then? Is it Glasgow you were brought up? Or?
I was brought up just outside of about 15 minutes outside the city centre, near Paisley.
All right.
Aye, place called Barhead.
Okay. Brilliant. So in that area then, was there a big Irish influence in that particular area? Or?
Not particularly, as much as anywhere else. It wouldn't be not as much as maybe somewhere like Coatbridge or places like that, but just as much as anywhere else. And
so when it came to the picking up the Irish singing or performing to begin with, then was that like a school thing? Were you performing at school or performing in folk clubs or
just in the house, just at home and things? I think I probably sang in front of family and things at parties. It used to be quite normal for everybody to kind of just take a turn singing.
Yeah.
Actually, as you got on a bit, I got a turn and went for there.
So, do you think the idea came quite early then that you'd like to do it like as a real gig kind of style thing, and you'd like to be the musician and keep going?
I think it did in some ways, but when I first went to university, I went to study to be a music teacher, actually.
Okay.
So that was what the kind of path I was on, until that came to an abrupt end, because I started doing gigs and I just couldn't do both. So so I never finished the teaching side of things, and I ended up actually switching over to do the Scottish music course at the time. It was the RSAMD when I was there. Now the RCS. So I switched over then, and I was already kind of doing gigs and had the band together. right by that time. So yeah, so it was a long time ago now.
Going to the academy at the time. The academy then, is that where you kind of met the boys and put the band together? Or?
The original lineup, I met one of the boys there. Rory McMillan was a fiddle player in the first lineup. I met the rest. I met two of the guys actually down at Girvan Folk Festival, which was oddly enough, Girvan in Ayrshire was a festival that I went to my whole life because I actually had family who moved from Ireland to Girvan. My great grandmother and some cousins. So we always spent time in Girvan as well, and then the folk festival. As I got older, got involved in the folk festival. So I always went there, and I met two of the guys that were in the original lineup at Girvan Folk Festival, and then one of the other guys was from my hometown.
Yeah, it's Girvan. It's amazing. It's brought a lot of people through that festival, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a one that I'd never miss. I would never miss it at all, and I'm actually playing there again this year. So it's nice to go back again and play at it after spending so much time there. And I suppose in many respects the band was kind of born, for going to Girvan and things. So
because it's funny when you spoke to folk like Ian McCallum for the McCallumans and Davy Steele and all these guys. They all used to go to Girvan like years ago, 40 years ago and things. It was a big thing then, it's been a successful festival. It's been good.
Yeah. It's been, obviously, it's had like some of the other festivals that were, maybe some festivals are that we all know are like outdoor festivals, big stages, things like that. Or these festivals that Girvan were built around the community and the bars, local bars. It has struggled over the years. Now it has, just to keep the numbers, keep people coming along. But hopefully it can hang on there.
I really like Orkney Folk Festival for that same reason. It's all based around bars but it's also venues now as well. To be honest, there's a kind of mixture, but it's still very much based around the Stromness community, if you can.
Yeah. Sorry, Paul, I was going to stop you there. Is that an advert, Peter?
No, I was just saying I liked it, but I am playing at it this year.
Yeah, funny that, eh?
But it's the 40th anniversary this year as well. I'll mention that.
Yeah. So
and it's sponsored by Northpoint. Do you want me to say any more about it? It's sponsored by Northpoint.
No.
Down and,
I might just cut this whole bit out. So we're going to get a track for you, Paul, and you give us 4 to use tonight. And we've got, is it the Fanad Mare?
Yeah, Fanad Mare, yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about that track?
It's a song from Donegal, which is where my father's side of the family come from in Ireland. And so it's a small town. It's just an old song about a racehorse. And I got this song from a man called Kevin Mitchell, who passed away just at the end of last year. He lived in Partick, but he was from Derry. And when I was younger, I went round there and I got a few songs and things from him. And he was a lovely man, a great singer. So I kind of changed it a wee bit. I don't know how if he would approve, but we changed it a wee bit. The Fanad Mare.
Okay, we're going to carry on with a song now from Donegal in Ireland. It's a song about an old racehorse called the Fanad Mare. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Donegal heroes, wherever you be, now pay attention and listen to me. Now sing a few verses, your spirits to cheer, concern and brave, feel on the sweet Fanad Mare. From the town of Downpatrick and Antimaville, they sport their colours and that with great will. from the racetrack in Derry and on to Kildare. There was 20-1 on the sweet Fannet mare. Oh, the sweet Fannet mare. Oh, the sweet Fannet mare. When they came to the racetrack, Oldfield he did say, "Come on, old jockey, and show us fair play. Just give us a head, like you did once before, and she'll bring back the prizes to Fannet once more." And the people arrived and rejoiced for each heart. McKenna got mounted and away he did start. All the shouts of the people they rang through the air. Won by a head did the sweet Fannet mare. Oh, the sweet Fannet mare. Oh, the sweet Fannet mare. The races were over, each one did agree to go to Melton to have a big spree. All the lads and the lasses had liquor so rare, they drank to brave we had the sweet Fannet mare. Oh, the sweet Fannet mare. Oh, the sweet Fannet mare. Thanks very much.
Brilliant, great sound. Magic sound.
You've got to love the Uilleann pipes.
Aye, yeah, I mean, I do. I always have,
Yeah.
And he's such a great player.
I wouldn't like to have to tune them and look after them all the time, though.
That can be a challenge, especially when you're getting to, as folk bands do, we sometimes have to play in old churches and things like that, and sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge. But he's a great player. He's a wonderful player. That helps.
Carrying around a humidifier behind him. So from finishing off with the degree course and starting to kind of go out as a band, where did you kind of end up first? Were you doing lots of local stuff, or was it national stuff, or did you start going worldwide?
I think I finished eventually. When I eventually managed to finish university, I think it was about 2009 or 10. So we done a few festivals and stuff. Like eventually, we went back and done Girvan, and we played at Money Ive, which is in Dumfries and Galloway. They were big. They were really good for us when we were. They were really good tours as well at that stage. But then we went to America in Canada. I think one of our first trips was maybe 2009 or 2010. Can't remember now. We spent a lot of time, touring or trying to tour in North America, and it was, it was good. It was good crack. We we were younger, so we never had as much, worries, I suppose. We never made. I don't think we made that much money, but we never ever really lost anything. And it was, it was hard to get.
That's pretty good actually, because you hear a lot of guys going and they lost leader for quite a while in states and things, trying to build up audiences. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we always thought we could have done more. I mean, we had enough agency at the time, but we always thought we could have done a bit more, or got into different types of festivals and things like that, which I now see happening with bands that are now over there. So it's just a pity that it's kind of, I suppose it's more frustrating than anything else when you can see that, even when you're young, and then just never really getting the chance. So because I've not been back with a band in America now since 2016. That was the last time we toured in America, and it was pretty tough, like to make anything over at that time. So, but we had good times and stuff in America. It's been great. We saw good.
So where is good tours for the bands now? Then is Europe still quite good, or is it?
Europe's still pretty good. Europe used to be great for CD sales and things in Europe. It's just now falling away, like everywhere else. But it's still great. We still try and get out there once a year, if not every 18 months, for a decent tour in Germany, Denmark, and wherever we can get to. Canada's been good over recent years. I've done a lot. The good thing about Canada is that you don't need a visa to go to Canada. So we actually, in comparison to the American thing, which is now just a total nightmare, that's to try and getting visas and things.
I never realised that you didn't need a visa to go to Canada. There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, half of the time the people at the border don't realise that either. It's a bit of a grey area. Usually ends up with you telling them the rules of why you don't need it and things. But
so you are the Paul McKenna that's the hypnotist then? We don't need anything here. No, go ahead.
Fooled them many times. But no, we don't. So
it's interesting what you're saying there about the CD thing as well. I've noticed that, like, just festivals now, it is slowing right up, and it's a difficult one to know what to do just now, to be honest, because I mean, streaming's one thing, but I don't know. And then I notice a lot of the guys putting it onto like a USB stick and that and selling an album or something like that.
Which is, I mean, we have thought about that as well, but even the price of the USBs and stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is. Music.
Yeah, I think you'd need to put on like 3 or 4 albums or something and charge £50 or something like that for it.
I think that's the way.
It's a difficult one.
The only other thing is merch. You can get hats, and like this is a band for Canada. I got this hat in Australia. I'm full of the merch today. I've got a Rura jumper on as well. It's a washing day.
That's what I was going to say.
Davey, the Peter Wood band, I could get some merch done if you could get some baseball caps.
Yeah, listen, I'll wear anything within reason.
Did you ever get those G strings with your face on them, Peter?
They couldn't. Struggled in the end. The maker, the shipyard went out of business. That was going to make them for me.
Speaking of, never mind. We're going to have another track, people, and we're going to have Beyond the Day. Do you want to tell us a bit about this one?
Beyond the Day, I wrote Beyond the Day with a guy called Dave Gunning, who's a fantastic singer-songwriter from Nova Scotia in Canada. And actually, years ago, we had the same agent in America, which is how we met. We were booked at a couple of the same festivals. And then a few years back, I was doing a bit of solo stuff in Canada, and I bumped into him a few times. So we arranged to do some writing together, and went up to his. He's in a place called Pictou which is
Right.
that's actually where the first Scottish people landed over there. There's a big I can't remember what the boat was called, but there's a big replica and stuff of it. So they're pretty proud of their Scottish heritage up there. But he's a great songwriter, and we wrote a few songs together up there. And he's just he's a fantastic guy. So that's a wee bit about that one.
The Canadian music, and there's so many good musicians as well, eh? And I mean, that in history, when you go back again and you look back at the Stan Rogers type stuff and all that kind of stuff right through, and then you've got folk like JP Cormier and that, and folk like that right in now as well. The first time I met JP was about 25, 30 years ago up here, just in the local hall doing the road here, actually. It was how a tune, and I kept in touch with him ever since. But and there, he said, yeah, I always remember him telling us that made him an international touring artist in Canada. When Shetland Folk Festival asked him to come, he was then able to put in his CV that he was an international touring artist.
And it was the Hector in 1773.
Yeah. I think I read about that somewhere once.
Did Louise Bishan not do an album based on that as well?
Possibly.
I think she did. I think she did the whole kind of story, which is brilliant. So here we go. Here's Beyond the Day.
Magic.
Well, I go beyond the day. No good reason to be afraid. We all must stumble on the way to whatever waits beyond the day. To the shrine with candles dimmed might be followed by autumn's wind. The light, it flickers before it fades. All the colors fall away. Do we go beyond the day? Is there a place for us beyond the grave? Heaven knows, no one can say. We remain beyond the day. There's a feeling ever near. Every change comes to live in fear. Generations have felt this way, but we're together all the same. Or do we go beyond the day? Is there a place for us beyond the grave? Heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day. Fall for nothing if all is here. Fall where my sins everywhere. Everywhere along the road, within the sun that sets the gold. Heaven knows, no one can see. We remain beyond the day. Or do we go beyond the day? Is there a place for us beyond the grave? Heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day. Oh, heaven knows, no one can say if we remain beyond the day.
Lovely structure to that.
And just before we go any further, the Voyage of the Hector is a Face Ross album, primarily written by John Somerville, the accordion player.
There you go.
I knew it somewhere. There you go. So, but yes, you've got 2 albums and 2 singles on Bandcamp, as I see.
Yes. That's the only one. No, I've got more albums than that, but that's the only 2 that I actually own. The rest are with the label. But yeah, but they're still available as well. But
well, ladies and gentlemen, please go on Bandcamp and buy Paul's albums and singles. There you go. Don't worry about running for pens and papers. As I always say, this is recorded, and it is recorded tonight.
Tonight, yes. Tonight definitely is.
Because I'm actually not here. So, but don't worry, it's recorded. It's on YouTube later on. It's on Twitter. It's everywhere, so you can see it again, and you can catch the addresses and all that again. No bother.
So, have you worked with a lot of other artists regarding kind of collaborations and such for songwriting?
For songwriting, no. Dave Gunning, I've written with an Australian artist. Her name's Liz Stringer. She's from Melbourne. She's amazing. Really amazing singer-songwriter. And we met through mutual friends. Who was the East Pointers, the band from Canada.
Oh, yeah.
So we were over and playing it. I think one year, I can't remember, but a few years back now anyway, I think almost every festival we played in Canada or in Australia, oddly enough, we were with the East Pointers all the time. And we knew them even before they were a band. Like we were the East Pointers. That's me in Glasgow, the sirens going by.
I was going to say that's some speed for a police car in Shetland.
Aye.
I've not seen one for years.
Lucky you. Yeah. Aye, so that's I wrote one song with Liz, and that's about. I think I used to write. I used to do a lot of writing with one of the guys who was in the original lineup of the band. His name was David McNee, and he left the band. He had a family and 2 young kids and stuff, and he couldn't do the touring and things anymore, so he left a few years back. But we used to write a lot of songs together, you know. But no, I mean, something I would like to do more. It can be a strange kind of experience, because if you're used to writing songs yourself, and I don't write a huge amount of songs. I write songs, but I don't just sit down and every day and write.
Yeah. No.
Something has to, has to be about something that I have an idea, and then it can take me months to finish one song, you know. But so the writing together can sometimes feel a little bit forced.
Yeah.
So which is weird, because I know that in like places like Nashville and stuff, it's quite common that writers get together in a room with different people. And maybe they're just more used to it than.
I think the whole kind of culture of collaboration in Nashville is very much. From what I've seen, they always have an idea, and then they bring that idea to the table, and then it's then collaborating from there. So they always kind of have snippets of their own stuff to bring to the table. And it's probably the same for yourself. There's probably songs you've got written down now that are not finished that would be ideal to rock up to somebody else and go, here's a start or something, let's look at it. But yeah, I think touring helps with that as well, because sitting in buses and planes and things like that and shooting the breeze and bumping into folk, that kind of helps as well. But no,
it's interesting when you mentioned the East Pointers there as well. They've got a huge fan base up here in Shetland. They were very, very popular up here.
Everywhere. They were. I mean, they still are. I suppose a great band. Missing obviously Cody now.
Cody, it was tragic. But
good pals of mine for years now. In fact, one of them actually lived here with me years back. He came and lived in Glasgow for a while, and he stayed here with me. And that was a good few months. Don't remember much of those days.
You've been up the Shetland Festival, haven't you, before, were you?
No, never been to Shetland.
No, you've not done that one. I thought you'd been.
No, never been to Shetland or Orkney.
So if anyone's
right.
watching from the Shetland Orkney festivals, why have you not booked Paul McKenna band?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Absolutely.
I think the closest I got was when Davy Henderson was still alive, and
Yeah.
and I was actually in a Tuner Festival in Denmark, and Davy was there, and he was a good pal of my agent at the time. But then we were kind of talking about it, and then Davy passed away.
Yeah, big miss, Davy. Big miss.
He was a great guy.
Yeah, he was. He took us to Headkilt one year with the big band we play with, and what a carry on we had. But he was a great guy. He would do stuff. He done stuff for musicians that the general public and a lot of the musicians didn't know he had done for them to help them. He would put his hand in his own pocket to help with fares and things, and folk didn't realise that sometimes. You know, he was just a genuinely good guy.
Yeah.
The next track we have is it's a live track, the Banks of the Moy,
Yes.
and that was you probably posted this, was it 2 weeks ago for St Paddy's?
I posted it late. That weekend. I was still playing that as St Patrick's weekend day.
All right. Yeah.
It's close enough.
It was close enough, I suppose. The Banks of the Moy. Yeah, a lot of these, a lot of the videos that we're seeing tonight were recorded during COVID.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was a terrible time for gigs, obviously, but it was a pretty good time for getting videos and things done. When you were eventually allowed to get together. So because the previous video was for Celtic Connections when it was done online.
Okay.
That year. And then these ones were done for something in a festival in Germany, Highland Blast. That we more of a tour type festival. So so these were all
my gig at Celtic Connections last year got cancelled because I can't mind. We were on the Friday night or something, and restrictions didn't lift to the Saturday.
That's right.
We were like one day out, or we'd have been doing the gig.
I remember that because when I played, that was 2022.
Yeah,
Because I played at the opening concert in the concert hall, and they could only get however many people they were allowed, which was way under the capacity of the concert hall. It was weird, and then 5 days later, everything was back to normal again. We had a gig.
I know, yeah, weird, yeah.
Did you ever have to play the empty gig at the concert hall where there was no audience?
For the year before that,
Yeah.
That was that video we just saw. That was the concert hall.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought. Who was it we had on previously that did the same thing?
Davey, I've played a few empty gigs, and that was before COVID.
That's something about your musicianship, Peter,
Thank
or
you.
the lack thereof. So the Banks of the Moy. Do you want to tell us a bit about the Banks of the Moy?
Banks of the Moy. Learned it from a recording from a singer from Ireland. His name is Terry O'Neill. He's in Belfast, I think, and it's a song about Michael Davitt. And I won't go into it, but he was an important political figure in Irish history. So, when I heard this song, I fell in love with it, and I done my usual, kind of changed it a little bit and sped it up a little bit and things. So that's the Banks of the Moy.
Okay.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. One day as I went in my ramble from Swinford to Sweet Ballylee, I met with a maid as I rambled, and her name it was Mary McGee. She sighed for the rights of old Ireland, Michael Davitt, my brave Irish boy. He is now in a prison in Portland, far from the lovely sweet Banks of the Moy. He is now in a prison in Portland, far from the lovely sweet Banks of the Moy. I quickly approached this fair maiden, asked what was the cause of her woe. I what was her reason for misery, that forced her from her home to go. She sighed for the rights of old Ireland. Make old David my brave Irish boy. He is now in a prison in Portland, far from the lovely sweet banks of the Moy. He's now in a prison in Portland, far from the lovely sweet banks of the Moy. Don't talk of you, sweet 67. We had Dave Van on Treeman also. There was a young Peter Carney, God rest him. He died in Killarney also. Was thrilled by my darling Mike David in the valleys and plains of Vermont. And that's why he's a prisoner in Portland, far from the lovely sweet banks of the Moy. That's why he's a prisoner in Portland, far from the lovely sweet banks of the Moy. And now to conclude and to finish, I hope that the day soon will come. These cruel landlords and bailiffs from the Isle of St. Patrick must run. We love for a laughing and gold banners, will be safe for Ireland on high. And we'll drink to our brave Michael David from the lovely sweet banks of the Moy. We'll drink to our brave Michael David from the lovely sweet banks of the Moy.
You're very into that jig idiom, aren't you? The 1 2 3 1 2 3.
I love that stringy, ringy, stringy, Irishy sound. I think it's just great.
Yeah,
That acoustic sound, it's magic.
That's fantastic. So, Paul, after Girvan in April 1st, April sometime. What's happening going forward from April?
Well, not a huge amount, unfortunately. But we've got a few things happening. I just need to refresh my memory here on my calendar. But we've got, and we're going to Hebkelt in the summer.
Fantastic!
Oh yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, so that's the first. That'll be our first time up there as well. So that's
a cracking festival. You'll enjoy that.
I'm looking forward to that one. And then we're going to a new folk festival, Fresh Air Folk Fresh Air.
Oh yeah.
Advertised.
Yeah. Down in Ayr. So we're doing that. And listen, there's not much else in the summer, which is not ideal. But we're trying our best to get things, but it's quite difficult. So, but hopefully,
have you found it more? Just a quick. Have you found it more difficult after COVID? Is it taking a wee while to pick up again?
I suppose so. Maybe it has in many ways. I think, to be honest, we've always struggled with work at home more than anywhere else. If I'm being,
I think that's decades old thing, isn't it? When you look at bands have had to tour,
Yeah, if I was, to be brutally honest, it's always been difficult, especially festivals and things. I've always kind of struggled. So it's nice to get the ones that we've got this year, and hopefully we can add a couple more before we're done. Then we've got a few, we've got a run of gigs in September around England and in Scotland. and then we're back over to Europe for November for about three and a bit weeks, I think. So after the summer, the autumn and the winter's pretty is looking quite good as well. So
Brilliant.
hopefully can pick up a few more things in the summer, and I'll feel a lot better.
No.
So what do you do in your, not I would say spare time? What do you do out with the band playing stuff? Do you teach? Do you?
I do a bit of teaching now. I work for Face Ross.
Right.
Everyone else. So I do a couple of days a week when I can. Working down in Dumfries and Galloway.
Yeah.
For them, so it's kind of Face Ross YMI thing.
Face Ross seems to be quite big down in Dumfries and Galloway. There seem to be a lot of active schools down there.
I mean, most of the people, everybody that I know that works, that does it from here, we all do it in Dumfries and Galloway. I think there might have been something to do with the schools down there didn't got all their music cut at one stage or at one point, so they were able to kind of fill that hole. But it's
because mine with Caitlin Ross on and one night as well. Caitlin's done. She was working down that way as well.
Yeah. I worked with her a few times actually.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for a few years. When I can't always do it, depending on when you're away, and stuff like that. So like I couldn't do it at the start of the year, when I was in Australia, but because there was something happened last year, the funding was kind of in doubt, and everything got shifted a wee bit. So I managed to pick up the next round this time of the year, which doesn't usually happen.
Is that going through the YMI then? Is that going through Youth Music Initiative as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was a stutter up here with that last year as well. There was a funny thing went on for a wee moment.
Yeah, it was. I think it might not happen, but thankfully it did because it's good and it's a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The last track we're going to have as we say goodbye is, I think it's your latest single, but it was last year.
Last year, we brought it out last September. We were on tour last September, so we brought it out kind of just as the tour started. First gig was in Glasgow, I believe. So yeah, we brought it out then. Yeah.
And that's called "Can You See Me, Sister." Do you want to tell us a bit about this before we let you go and enjoy your fish supper?
So this song was. This is a song that I wrote. Again, I totally forgot this earlier. I co-wrote this song as well. With Tim O'Brien, great musician from the US. I was when I was part of the Transatlantic sessions a few years ago. I was lucky, delighted to be a guest as part of that, and Tim O'Brien was there as well. And I had met him a few times over the years, but obviously being on the Transatlantic Sessions tour, I got to know him a bit better, and we kind of stayed in touch a little bit. And he had an idea for this song. He thought that I might be a good shout to write it with him, which was nice to hear. But I kind of knew a little bit about the history, not as much as he did. And he knew that I had written songs about things in America, about race, things centered around race and racism. So he gave me and we wrote it completely online just by sending voice notes and emails back and forward with different drafts. And yeah, he released it on his album last year, or the year before.
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah, I sat on it for a long time, and then we just decided to put it out as a single last year. So it was a good experience because I've always been a big, huge Tim O'Brien fan. So it was nice to actually get to write a song with the guy, and it was a good thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, Tim's done so much over the years. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
it was Tim O'Brien that was done. Oh Brother, We're Out There, wasn't it?
Did he might have done something in it? Aye, there was a lot of it was. I think Dan Tyminski done a lot of the singing.
Dan, maybe it was Dan.
Yeah.
But no, it was again fantastic. Paul, thank you very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening.
Superb. Thanks, Paul.
Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah.
And good luck with the rest of the year.
Yeah, and if anyone's listening out there and got plenty of cash, Paul's wanting a summer gig or two.
A tour would be fine. A tour, just a tour around the islands of Hawaii or something like that.
Anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's great, Paul. Thank you very much. And here we have Can You See Me, Sister? All the best, mate.
Cheers, thank you.
Man. Thank you. Thanks, man.
Can you see me, sister? Do you remember me? Can you feel my presence? I'm still on my knees. Oh, I can see you, sister. Oh, how our lives have changed. I'm still here in the shadows, you're just out of range. Father, can you help me now? The chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Father, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Oh, can you see me, sister, in my shabby clothes? Life's so different from the one you know. I do not blame you, though we share a name. If my skin was lighter, I might do the same. Father, can you help me now? The chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Father, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Bought and sold like cattle, people just like us. Couldn't look you in the eye, I could be whipped or worse. Mother, can you help me now? The chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Mother, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Father, can you help me now? Chains are gone, but I still feel bound. Father, please look down on me until the day that I feel free. Can you see me, sister?
Brilliant. Very, very good.
Did you see that subtle? Oh yeah, I forgot. I've written with Tim O'Brien. What?
Tim O'Brien.
Yeah.
We never mentioned that we knew Ron Block though.
Yeah, no.
Probably
Still a
does.
month to go yet. He probably does,
Yeah.
yeah. Probably does. Alright.
Yeah, Tim
No, it's great.
O'Brien.
This message.
I can't remember where I did. I have seen Tim O'Brien somewhere at a festival, and I can't remember where.
Probably Shetland.
Yeah, I can't remember. Maybe
Probably.
Tim and Molly O'Brien, wasn't it?
Not sure. However, when this is
There we
going out on Sunday, the 2nd, Sunday the 2nd of
it'll be about
April.
the back in 9 now, so I'm not sure what time it is where I am.
2 hours, so back 11, so be quickly.
Is it
So
2
it's
hours?
probably not the best time to go and get your budgie smugglers on and jump in the pool. Maybe like
No.
tomorrow morning.
I'll do it in the morning. The children are very excited because the rain's going to be warm.
Yeah. Is this their first abroad trip?
No, they've been to France. They've been to Euro Disney thing, which is not really. When you go to Euro Disney, it's not really France. It's like another country in the middle of France.
Yeah, just outside Paris. Yeah.
No,
it's great. We will not have a show next week on the 9th because I feel that it is important for Peter and his family to get some time off. So Peter doesn't know this yet, so we're not having a show on the 9th.
all right.
We'll
Well,
be back.
no show next week.
We will be back on the 16th, and we will have. Give me 2 seconds. I'll just check my calendar. We have Claire Hastings to join us.
Sorry, is a colander not a thing you make soup in or something?
There's a pot.
Sorry, who have we got in the 16th? Claire.
We've got Claire Hastings, the
Fantastic. That's really going to be good.
And then the following 23rd, on St George's Day, we have Ron Block, 23rd April.
Can't wait. That's going to be fantastic. Ron Blocks plays with people that are not that well known, folk like Alison Krauss and folk like that.
Alison Krauss, and what's that other guy? Robert Plant, I think he's played with.
Yeah, and that Dolly Parton wife.
I don't think I know her.
She comes with a bit of broth, I think. Is it not broth?
Again? Wasn't you in soup tonight?
Maybe forfeit. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Tennessee.
No,
Tennessee. Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Hope you have enjoyed that tonight. We'll see you a week on Sunday.
Thank you all for the comments that you no doubtedly put in. They are much appreciated. And if Peter's get a bit of jet lag, he might respond to some of them after the show.
Aye, and I'll be thinking about you when I'm in the sun in Turkey and things. I'll be thinking about you all. Don't be nasty. Right. Okay. Right. See you later, folks. Take care. Good night.
Hi, Kava.